Morning. Back on the Ridgeway, day 3. Heading for Goring today, which is on the Thames. Yesterday finished about 5:45, got into Court Hill Centre. There were just 2 or 3 people camping there. The hostel itself was empty because of COVID restrictions, etc. It was a beautiful setting. Sunsets were fantastic. This morning there was inverted cloud inversion, I should say, in the valley below, which is quite interesting to see. But what that did mean was there was a very heavy dew, and my tent is absolutely soaked this morning. In fact, it just soaked it up like a sponge, the tent, and it's been a great little tent that. I love it to bits. It's really lightweight, but one of the negatives that people talk about is it doesn't deal with condensation very well, and it didn't last night. It started to seep through the outer and the inner. It's amazing. I can sit in rain all day and not a drop gets in, and on a glorious clear night you start to get a bit wet. So that was the one negative. I also, because I was in my bag at about 8:30 just listening to tunes and stuff, by about 3 in the morning I had to get up and go to the loo, and that was a bit of a palaver, but you don't really need to know about that. So today there's about 14 miles, a bit shorter than yesterday. I made a couple of boo-boos yesterday, spent too much time at Uffington Castle, and also had my first error of route finding. So it took I walked for about an hour longer than I should, and my feet were absolutely raw by the end of it, because these tracks are just absolutely rock solid. So it'll be much the same today. It's another glorious day. I can't complain. Been really blessed with the weather, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Slightly shorter distance, but there's no campsite where I'm going to, so I've got to get buses, or even I could get a train to the nearest campsite. So that should be interesting. So here's to another super day. Speak to you soon. So today, on this section, we started about here. Now we're here. We've got Lord Wantage's monument coming up shortly, and then a long day to Goring. Only problem is I got to get here to camp, so I'm going to use public transport to get to here, and then in the morning public transport back to here, and then walk that way, because it's about 6 miles, that section, and on the back of 15, I think that's too much for me. Not to worry. It's a beautiful day, we'll just see how far we get. wanting to sound like a broken record, my feet are giving me a lot of pain today. Always seems to be day 3 of these walks that the assault on your body is fully established. Hey, your blisters are at their peak and ripe. The aches of 2 days walking with this pack on are fully established. So it's funny, the last 3 backpacks I've been on, day 3, I found the hardest. Anyway, we're on day 3 and yeah, it's fair to say I'm struggling. To try and put into context my pain, I've been thinking about my dad, who it's come up to 3 years now since he died. The last 3 years of his life were bloody hard work. He suffered a lot, and he suffered in silence. He didn't make a big deal of it. He had major surgery, he had secondary surgery, but I think in his own mind he knew that they hadn't really fixed the problem, and he died peacefully, but up until that point he'd suffered a lot. And I regret a lot of the interactions I had with my dad, because I respected him massively and I listened to him and I loved his life story, but I had this propensity to always argue with him. I'd argue black was white if it disagreed with my dad, and I really regret that, because actually a lot of the things he spoke about the world and politics, he was actually spot on. So I regret not just saying, yeah, I might not agree with that, but I respect your opinion, Dad, and I wish I could tell him now. So anyway, I don't want to get all emo and maudlin, but to help me with the pain in my feet, which, let's be honest, it's a blister on each little toe. The pain's disproportionate, but compared to what other people go through and have been through, I need to just man up and shut up and get on with it. So I'm not going to mention the pain in my feet anymore. I'm just going to keep trundling at this snail's pace. I will speak to you soon. This is the underpass of the I-34. There used to be some really interesting graffiti here, but it's like some misery guts has painted over it. Oh, here we are. It's getting hot now. I'm a place I think it's East Ilsley or West Ilsley, in between the two. It's a big training centre. I've heard of a trainer who trains horses here, and I'm walking through the gallops. No horses. I think he's a national hunt trainer, so his horses will all be out in the fields at the moment. Not much national hunt racing going on. It's more of a winter sport. But whoa, it's hot. It's absolutely no wind at all. Yeah, I'm just snailing along at a very slow pace. But can't complain. Better than rain. Okay, this is one of the original signposts when they were a bit mean with the mileage. They had the route down at 85 miles. It's now been changed to 87, and I'll be doing probably mid-90s before the end of the week. Just with all the detours and getting lost, etc. But the point is, I'm nearly at halfway. By the time I get to Streetley, I will be at halfway, which is 1.9 miles according to this. And there's a pub there, and I promised myself a shandy or something better. So, been a tiring hot day today, but about an hour's walk to go. Long, hard, hot day. Won't touch the sides, I'm sure. I'm in Streetley. Black Bull, I think it's called. I've got to get a bus now to Wallingford, Cromarsh, Gifford, where my campsite is. So it's been a long and hard day. This is a beautiful place, Streetley. Absolutely reeked of money. Walking in and walk past the golf course and equestrian places and umpteen beautiful cottages. This is where all the money is. Anyway, I'm happy in my little tent tonight. No campsites in Streetley, way too posh. That's the tent. Absolutely soaked from this morning. Never known such a heavy dew. Probably the heaviest, well, it's the heaviest I've ever camped in. But the grass was really long at that campsite as well, so it just didn't get any airflow underneath the tent, so it was an absolute soggy mess. I've just had such palaver getting to this campsite. In the end I've had to get a taxi. I've walked for a mile to a railway station where the bus was supposed to be leaving for this place. Didn't turn up, and then I must have phoned about 10 taxi firms before I got a taxi. So it's 6:30 now, was hoping to get the tent up by about 4:30 today and drying out, maybe 5 o'clock. The sun's just gone down, unfortunately, so I'll be getting into a wet tent. Them's the breaks, I guess. But I'm here and I'm ready for a shower, and I haven't got anything to eat, unfortunately. I might wander into the town to see if I can get something. Other than that, it's going to be nuts and water. Speak to you soon.